Okay, so tell him, I have to be sitting down because otherwise I'm like, it's like, why is she so dramatic?
That's life, okay?
Yes, this is an operating model home where people are coming and going, so.
Right.
Good interruption.
That's right.
People are moving in, they apologize.
That's right.
So. Michael is the most amazing designer.
Well, that is very sweet, especially coming from you, so thank you.
He's awesome, and we are actually at a Monte Hewitt model home that Michael has designed, and I know that you guys already love him because I posted some sneak peeks on the Instagram, and you all were like, please hurry up and give us the tour.
My followers will know that I use the word favorite a lot, so when I say that this is my favorite, I do truly mean it.
It's my favorite.
It's my favorite. There's some great attachment that I have to this house and this design. I put so much thought into it, and when working on a model, I work a lot with the builder, but I do my own research. Like I need to find out what is the demographic of the area, who is this buyer, how are they going to live, and so through all that research, I realized that Halcyon is this great melting pot. There's so many different people here, just in the houses that have sold, seeing the people that are coming in. So I wanted to design something that resonated with everybody.
How did you even become a model home designer? Like this is your only job, right? This is what you did.
This is it. So I had my own business in design for, probably 15 plus years now.
Okay. And do you have a degree in interior design?
I do. But what I will say is that I think there are certain people who are born with a talent, and this is a blessing for me.
How long have you been doing this? How long have you been a model home designer?
So I knew that the models were where I wanted to end up, but the road to getting there, I was really unsure. So I had worked with a lot of in-town builders. For a long time, I did just residential renovations, residential design. About 7.5 years ago, I met Monte Hewitt, and quickly he became my biggest client. So from there, it really just kind of evolved, and that's been the great part of being able to not only work on the finishes of the house, like seeing something from the plan stage, all the way through selecting your tiles and your countertops, and now being able to take it that step further and then bring the life into the house. That part is what is so rewarding for me. So over that 7 years, it just kind of evolved, and
it's a little bit of patience.
Yeah, it was a lot of patience, honestly. But I will say it was worth every minute.
Yeah, I think every designer kind of has like this theme that they're just kind of known for, and you walk in and you're like, oh, this is so Michael.
Oh, I love that.
And when I was in actually the Avalon house, which is on the market again, so I was hosting the open house for that one, and I was
awesome.
Every time people would come in, they were like, "Oh, I love this fireplace. I know, it's so cool. It's it." And they're like, "Well, how do I get one like that?" I was like, "Well, we can hook you
I know
up."
a guy.
Like you seem to have like that focal point, like that's like your thing that you just do, like power walls.
Right.
What is it like? How do you decide for a room? Because like the paint job up in the boys' room, but even the woodwork that you did on the other, it's all so cool.
I have things in the back of my head, and when I think through who the buyer is and the overall style, what do we want to create? I kind of go through that file cabinet of what can I bring in here, and how can I take what I've seen and Michaelize it.
Yeah.
Because I like to do things that are new and fresh, but I don't want to be a carbon copy of somebody else either.
The other thing that I noticed as I was walking around is that you are king of textures.
Yes.
You just really have such a knack.
Thank you.
For just like I was looking at the way the beds were dressed, and the rugs are wool and chunky, and then there's like this amazing throw, and then there's a soft linen, and it's just, how do you decide what kind of goes together?
What I really wanted to do here is I knew that I wanted white, and I think there's nothing more.
What color white did you use? Because everyone's gonna want to know.
My go-to white, Sherwin-Williams Extra White,
Okay.
7006.
Okay.
It's my go-to
Very
white.
pure.
Yeah, it's just pure, and what I love about it is it doesn't pull an undertone. And every color pulls some sort of tone. This is just white, and it's not your bright ceiling white, so it doesn't have that blue cast. It's just the perfect white. So I used it on every single surface: walls, trim, ceilings. It's everywhere.
Even the cabinetry in the kitchen?
Even the cabinetry in the
Okay,
kitchen.
because that's another trick that I talk to people about, and they're always a little bit freaked out. It's like, wait, you want the cabinets to be the same color as the wall. And I'm like, well, yes, because it makes it feel bare.
It does.
And it just, I don't know, you layer with other things.
That's it. So with the layering, because everything was white, what I found is that I absolutely love saddle brown leather, which you'll see in most every room.
I know. Can you guys see these amazing?
These are kind of amazing.
Okay, tell people where they're from.
Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a lot of my inside secrets.
You are not gonna believe where these chairs are.
You're not gonna believe it. So I found them at Target online.
And you guys know I love Target, so this just makes my heart so happy.
Absolutely, and they were like $150 a piece, which
they look so high end.
They really do.
Feel so high end.
And they're real leather. They're
really comfortable.
And they're super
I can just
comfortable.
hang out in this.
Yeah. Let's hang out.
Yes, let's do that. We're just gonna hang right here and have coffee, and we'll see you guys in a little bit.
Perfect. Is because there's really an absence of color in this house, I wanted this organic feel. So you'll notice there's a ton of plants in this design.
Yes.
There's lots of textures from leather to wood, and then textures in textiles, fabrics, pillows. Draperies are really simple in this house. They're white shears.
Yes.
There's white shears throughout the whole house.
It makes everything feel so light and airy.
And it's a layer. That's what it is.
And this is because they can't see this, but this is actually a town home. So it's got attached walls.
Right.
So you have limited light, and yet it's just diffused and it's magical.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
so I'm curious.
Okay.
How did you start? Like, what's your starting point?
Okay. So, because I do things from the conception in, really from here's a set of plans, let's go through, let's mentally walk through the plan, just in the development stage of what's livable and what's not, so then we start with that, and then after all of my research, talking with the builder and all of the people there, then going into my research of the demographics, it's like, what would I like to see in this house?
Yeah.
And from there, it starts just with an idea. And my idea was that I wanted white. I want white on white on white everywhere. And then from there, it was going back to my little mental file cabinet. I found this great sofa, and this particular sofa, this channel tufted.
I love this sofa.
It's
I almost
amazing.
bought it myself.
It's amazing. It's
Except
from CB2.
My mom said that she wouldn't be able to get up from it because it's low crap.
It's so low, but it's beautiful.
It is. So now I'm like, I should have just bought a chair for myself.
That's right. Mental notes for next time.
Yeah, I mean, I do love the one I have, but this one is gorgeous, and it's gorgeous in person. So
it is. So that's where it started, and then from there I try and think about like my hard surfaces. In doing models, I like to do things that are a little bit outside of the box, so that not everyone would think of.
Yeah.
So doing the texture on this fireplace.
Yeah, I mean that's just so cool.
And I will tell you, this fireplace, you don't have to spend a ton of money for something to look like you spent a ton of money.
So is it?
It's
sheetrock
1 by 3.
or-
So it's sheetrock.
Okay.
That is 1 by 3 poplar, and with a 12-inch reveal in between, and just a boxed mantle. I think biggest takeaway, and really, really listen to this, when I say that you don't have to spend a ton of money, that's number one. And in conjunction with that, do your research.
I'm really surprised that you're saying to not spend too much,
I know.
because this feels so high end.
I'm so glad, and that's
And
the goal.
You guys are gonna write in. I know you will.
Yeah.
You're gonna write in the comments that he's lying, and he's not.
I promise you I'm not.
Yeah.
And I'll answer any questions. So, because I had this concept of a design, I knew that I wanted something that was organic, something that felt worldly, and I wanted to do things that were just unexpected. So the yarn design that I did on the wall over here, the fireplace design.
That's made of yarn?
It's yarn.
Oh, that's so cool.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and give you this. I'm going to interrupt myself again. So on that wall, those are from CB2.
Okay.
Those are coat hooks.
Okay.
They screw right in the wall.
I have one, but now I need a set.
So they come in sets of 3. So I got like 5 sets.
That's so cool.
And they are put into the wall, and there's 3 different colors of yarn. It's arbitrary. Everything, I stood back and I'm like, let's put one here, let's put one here.
Amazing.
And I took 3 colors of yarn and I just did a random pattern.
That's so cool.
And it's so dramatic. The wall is already dramatic because you've got 13 and a half feet of white painted bricks. You've got texture, and it's just another layer. And I'm so big on layers, and design is about so many layers. And
you also did another art installation upstairs.
I did.
In that loft area. Tell me about that, because I can't believe it. It's so cool.
I wanted to soften it up, and again, it's coming back to texture. So I had thicker, they're faux linen from Overstock, linen panels that lined the entire wall. And all it did is it allowed me, because it's white, everything up there is white with hints of black, and it just allowed me to do these layers. And then, you know, the pillows are bringing in, you know, competing patterns, just black and white and gray.
It really feels like a movie theater room by giving yourself that wall like that.
It
and
was
then
really
you
that
accented
easy.
with these milk, what were they?
Oh yeah, so
lids?
this was a really great find, and this goes back to Wayfair. I'll send you a link. I decided to go with a freeform design, and literally I just stood back. I have all of them sitting out, and I've got a hammer and a nail and a ladder, and I'm like, one here, I don't like that one, let's move it here. It's just trial and error, that's it.
Let's talk about the master, because you have yet another really cool art installation.
Oh my gosh.
So those are those just the little
They're shoe lasts.
Yeah.
I found the vintage shoe last on Etsy. I did a lot of shopping around, and Etsy is always just such a great marketplace for things that are different, handcrafted, organic, handmade. It just fit with everything that I wanted to do.
So I think that those shoes, I mean, they just adds so much texture to it. Oh my gosh, so tell me about the rug in that master bedroom.
That was one of the best finds.
Tell me how much it was. I can't believe it.
It was $183. Yeah, crazy. I knew that with the design of that bedroom, you know, I had the great pillows, I had the focal point of the shoe lasts on the wall. I wanted something that looked like a great vintage rug.
It does.
And, you know, I could have spent thousands.
I will put a link below for you guys.
Yes, we will get it for you.
I'm gonna have to have one for myself.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. The texture on it, guys, is amazing. It feels like the real deal. Like it must
really
have
does.
taken someone forever to make, and yet it's so affordable.
Going back to my inspiration, when I find something that I really like, for instance, there was like this coffee table.
The coffee table is so cool.
It is. This was so amazing because I knew that I wanted a marble or a marble look. I just wanted a big, chunky, square coffee table. One, they're just nowhere, and I found one that I liked that would have worked. And it was $4,000, and I was like, that's a big chunk of my budget to put into a model where
that's most people's budget for like
a room.
Sofa and
it just didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So this is actually something that I had made. This is made from it's silestone, which is a quartz countertop. I sent it to my fabricator, the people who did all the countertops in this house, and I had them. They built a plywood box.
Oh, so they built that for you?
They built it for me.
That's cool.
And wrapped it with this. It's a 2 centimeter, a thinner quartz material.
So what about like the table in here?
Yeah.
Like this is something else that looks like you've splurged.
That is one of the biggest comments that I have gotten on this design. Wow, that's such an amazing table. You know, it's this kind of distressed wood top, concrete base. It's all lightweight concrete, and then the 2 benches.
Yeah.
Overstock.com.
No.
I swear to you, it's one of those where I had this concept.
Okay, you're sending me links for all this.
I promise you, I will.
I promise you, we will hook you up with links.
I will.
In the kitchen, you were mentioning earlier that you said something about Dollar Tree in the kitchen.
Yes.
Tell me more.
See, I think, so many times people they'll think, well, I have to go and buy the most expensive. I did these great floating shelves, and I honestly stood back from them for about 3 days, and I'm like, okay, I'm just waiting for it to come to me.
I'm so glad that it takes you time, because sometimes I'm like, oh, it took me like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and there it is.
and then something hits, and so my process is I will go and let me buy a ton of stuff that I know I can return and see what works. And that was literally just putting and placing. Majority of that is from Target, Walmart, and yes, Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree, guys.
The best thing, I needed dishes. And, toward the end of my project, and I'm like, I don't want to,
I'm out of money.
I know, I'm running out of money, honestly. So I was like, Dollar Tree. So, I'm getting, the kitchen utensils, and, they really got some really great core pieces. So I bought the whole entire set of dishes, all of the glassware, and I spent $40. Like, it was amazing. And I looked at it, I'm like, this is what was in my mind, and I only spent $40 on it.
That's so cool. Let's talk about faux plants.
Yeah.
So obviously,
people love or hate them.
Yeah, I know. So we have a video, and I'm sure if you guys have been watching, you have probably watched it. But some people really hate them, And then some people just don't know how to like pick good ones.
Absolutely.
And obviously in a model home, there's not somebody here all the time to water the plants.
That's
so
right.
how do you choose? Like, how do you look at something and say, now this is what I'm going to include, and then you're just like, there's no way I put that into my model home.
So what I
I'm
have
assuming you are discerning.
Of course, on every square inch of this house.
I can tell.
Yeah, you know. So with this house, because I was going with this whole organic, natural, you know, the faux plants were going to be a big part of it.
Yeah.
And I knew that, one, it was cost prohibitive. You know, I'm not going to have somebody come in and water.
Yeah.
So I really did, it goes back to research, but I'll tell you where the bulk of these came from.
Okay.
For the faux fiddle leaf fig trees,
okay,
the absolute best is CB2.
Okay.
Which is the one that's over here. I have various ones in this design, and I got that one in, and it has an actual thick, waxy leaf. It's not like a silk leaf. I looked at it and I had to look again. I'm like, wow, that is a really good fake. So that one was worth every penny that I spent on it because
it stays alive.
And it stays alive. You know, I've had bad ones in the past that if they're in direct sunlight, they'll fade and they turn a weird green color. So I've learned. I've learned a lot. CB2, Pottery Barn, Crate Barrel, all of those are high top of the list of catch them on sale, and they are just super high quality. The other place, Target.
Yeah, I found some really good ones at Target lately.
And a lot online. They have so much more online that they even have in the retail store. So all of the cacti.
To do that.
Oh my gosh, green.
You even got like moss down here. Like, that's really cool.
This is a great find on House.
Okay.
So I was looking for specific again. I'm Googling and I'm trying to find moss. It's more specific. Moss and concrete planter.
That is very sweet. You really did have.
I'm telling you, when I have a vision for something.
So I know that a lot of people are going to assume that you DIY this art because it looks similar to one that I've done a DIY video on. But you actually got such a good deal on these.
This was, if you take away anything from this video, shop around and home goods. Like I use, you know, like I said, you know, I don't have limitless budgets for these models, and I'm in one of my local home goods. You made me
want to go shopping so bad.
I know. We should go after this.
I'm like, oh.
I see this happening. And I walked in and I saw those paintings, and they're a real painting.
You said $79.
They were $79
each. Get over it because the canvas inside a frame like that.
That in itself is worth that. When you're ordering an entire house, there's so many elements that you have to think of. But I do a lot of running around, and I do a lot of price comparisons. And then when I have something that's in my mind that, you know, like those paintings, had I not found those, I would have been watching your video and I would have been making them because I knew the size and the scale and everything. And, you know, don't feel like you always have to do everything store-bought because I love a good craft project, and half of the things in this house are a craft project. And, you know, that's the whole goal of a model home, is to create memory points where it makes this lasting impression on people. Well, take that and use that in your house. You know, I want to have just as much pride in my house as I do in my work.
Well, so many people come to model homes just to steal the idea.
That's exactly it, and that's good. You know, there's no greater compliment.
I love that. Well, they're going to all be stealing your ideas because you're just
wait.
absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us. I feel we're all here together doing this, so we're just so delighted. And I will be sure to leave links to your portfolio and your Instagram so you guys can find Michael and follow him, because he does post like the paint that he was doing like on videos on your Instagram, and that way you guys that way you guys can also see his portfolio and other projects that he's done, because his work is so inspiring. I know that you guys are going to love it. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And I'm happy to answer questions for anybody. So
write down in the comment section, and then we'll both try to link to some of the items that we've talked about, and let you guys in on all of it. So
awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
As much as I'd like to do like a 3-hour.
Because it'll be like 7:30 tonight. We're like, okay, now let's move upstairs.
It's like, oh, it's just so nice.